Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lexington, Kentucky, and today we're going to visit the final resting place of a man who had a pretty big hand in shaping American history. So let's go. This is downtown Lexington, Kentucky right now. Now, the weather's been a little bit strange this morning. It's been raining, then it stops, then the sun comes out, then it rains again. It's kind of a strange day weather-wise, but hopefully it clears up by the time we get to the cemetery. Now, if you remember a couple of years ago, I was at the cemetery before and I did kind of a general overview, and we showed Jim Varney, the actor from Ernest movies. We showed his final resting place and a few others, but this one is one that kind of needs its own video and a little bit more because not only was he an important man in American history, but the size of the tomb is probably one of the bigger ones that I've ever seen. So let's head over to the cemetery and I'll show you what we're talking about. And now we've made it to the beautiful and historic Lexington Cemetery. Today we're visiting the grave and final resting place of a man by the name of Henry Clay. Now, if that name doesn't sound familiar to you, he was one of the most prominent political figures of the 1800s. And he was born in 1777 in Virginia, and he was laid to rest just up this hill here in this massive tomb. Now, we'll go up and take a look at it, but for a little more information, he started his legal career here in Lexington, Kentucky. He was elected to the state legislature back in 1803. He was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1810. He became Speaker of the House in 1811. And he led the U.S. into the War of 1812 with James Madison. He developed a system called the American System, which called for infrastructure investment, and he was a huge supporter of the National Bank. But he helped pass the Missouri Compromise. He ran for president unsuccessfully 3 times. He was appointed Secretary of State by John Quincy Adams. He was one of the most influential men in the country at that time, and especially here in Kentucky. He did a lot of good for a lot of people, and he did a lot of things to help America. But he passed away in 1851 at the age of 74, and an interesting side note is he was the first person to lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda. Now, this is a pretty impressive tomb here. Take a look and see what we can see in here. And there's the sarcophagus. Now, these are just beautiful. I kind of wish they still did this. But there are several presidents where you can just see the sarcophagus like that. Just a beautiful tomb here. You can see they have the checkerboard floors. Just amazing. It also kind of makes you think sometimes that a lot of these people, when they were here, they were so full of life, so vibrant, and a lot of the political figures, they probably not in his day, but now a lot of them are, very heavily protected, and then you go and see them in a place like this, and it's like there's nobody around. I just always found that a little bit ironic. Go back this way and see what things look like from the other side of the tomb. Because that's part of the fun of visiting places like this, and especially sharing it with you, is trying to show you the whole, the whole experience so that you can feel like you're here with me. And here's what the back of it looks like. But Henry Clay, just a classic name in American history. And if things would have went a little differently, he very well could have been president. But that's all there is for today. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.